Yeah, I'd been with Grace for about 2-3 years.
Who is as big as it gets?
Grace was huge.
Dolph Lundgren, a Swedish athlete, went to MIT for a master's in chemical engineering and met Jamaican actress and singer Grace Jones there. They dated for a long time, and he became a star with her support. People were curious when he and Grace rode together in leather outfits. What was their relationship like, and why did it not stand the test of time? Let's dive into the intriguing love story of Dolph Lundgren and Grace Jones. How they met. Dolph Lundgren and Grace Jones's fiery love affair began in 1983 on the set of the James Bond film A View to a Kill. With Jones starring as the villainous Mayday and Lundgren serving as her bodyguard, their on-screen chemistry quickly turned into a real-life romance. The couple, known for their wild lifestyle and public displays of affection, dated for 4 years before parting ways in 1987. Despite their breakup, both have maintained that they have no regrets about their time together. What do you think was the cause of their breakup? We'll unveil more about that later in the video, so stay tuned. In the early 1990s, Dolph Lundgren and Paula Barbieri were known to be a celebrity couple. They initially met at a Hollywood event, and struck by their mutual attraction, quickly began dating. The couple frequently attended parties and events together, showcasing their passionate romance. However, their relationship was short-lived as they ultimately went their separate ways after about a year together. In 1994, in Marbella, Dolph married Annette Kviberg, a jewelry designer and fashion stylist. They have 2 daughters, Ida Sigrid Lundgren, born in 1996, and Greta Evelyn Lundgren, born in 2001, both born in Stockholm. Lundgren and Kviberg cited that their reason for living outside Hollywood was to give their children a normal childhood. In early May 2009, 3 masked burglars reportedly broke into Lundgren's Marbella home. The burglars tied up and threatened his wife, but fled when they found a family photo and realized that Lundgren owned the house. Lundgren later stated he believed the intruders to be Eastern European and had asked contacts in Bulgaria to investigate them, but to no avail. After the incident, Lundgren's elder daughter, Ida, suffered from PTSD. Despite some ups and downs, they remained together for over 15 years, finally calling it quits in 2011. The couple's amicable divorce allowed them to continue co-parenting their children. After his divorce, Dolph Lundgren dated Jenny Sanderson, a Swedish artist and photographer in 2011 after a chance encounter at a party hosted by mutual friends. Despite their considerable age difference, they quickly became inseparable and were often spotted attending public events and vacationing together. In 2015, they made headlines for their workout videos showcasing their shared passion for fitness. However, after roughly 6 years together, the couple decided to go their separate ways in 2017. Lundgren then engaged Norwegian personal trainer Emma Krokdal, who he was 40 years older than in June 2020. They married at their villa in Mykonos on the 13th of July 2023. They first went public with their relationship in January 2020 at the Cana Dorada Film and Music Festival in the Dominican Republic. Not much is known about how Lundgren and Krokdal met, but in interviews, Lundgren has praised Krokdal's intelligence, positive energy, athletic physique, and adventurous spirit. The iconic action star currently revels in marital bliss with his spouse, Emma Krokdal. Their love story captured the hearts of many fans, and their strong connection and genuine affection for each other are evident in their numerous public appearances together. This beautiful relationship showcases the romantic side of Dolph Lundgren that many may not have expected from the tough guy persona he usually portrays on screen. Lundgren and Krokdal appear very happy together, despite their major age difference. Lundgren has said the relationship works because they are equally committed to health, fitness, and leading an active lifestyle. In May 2023, Lundgren revealed that he had been battling kidney cancer since 2015. Before we unveil glimpses of Dolph and Grace's relationship and what led to their separation, let's find out a little about their individual lives. Who is Dolph Lundgren? Dolph Lundgren was born Hans Lundgren in Stockholm, Sweden, on the 3rd of November 1957 to Sigrid Birgitta, a language teacher, and Carl Johan Hugo Lundgren, an engineer and economist for the Swedish government. Some sources wrongly state 1959 as his birth year, but Lundgren has confirmed it to be 1957. He was raised in an academic middle-class family and lived in Stockholm until the age of 13, when he moved in with his grandparents in Nyland, Angermanland, Sweden. He has two sisters, Katarina and Annika, and an elder brother, Johan. Lundgren claims his father was physically hurtful and took out his frustrations on his wife and son. He also stated that his father would call him a loser during his tirades, which motivated him later as he grew more ambitious in his quest to prove himself. He said, "I still love my father, no matter what happened. There are many things about him I still admire. As a child, I was probably too much like him and was very stubborn. Perhaps that's what he couldn't deal with." He cited his troubled relationship with his father as the reason he developed a desire to participate in heavy contact sports, such as boxing and Kyokushin karate as a teenager. Martial arts transformed him, and after a few years, Hans was unrecognizable. Despite an early interest in music, fine arts, and clowning around in high school comedies, Dolph decided to follow in his father's and older brother's cerebral footsteps and pursue an engineering degree. After completing his military service in the Swedish Marine Corps, Dolph enrolled in the Royal Institute of Technology in Stockholm, studying the same subject as his older brother, chemical engineering. In the military, he first came in contact with the martial arts. 5 years later, he became a world-class competitor in Japanese karate and became deeply involved with a discipline that later became an important part of his life. Lundgren became the first at the Swedish Championship and held the championship title for 3 years. In 1979, he won the British Open and was appointed national team captain. Then, there were many other, no less brilliant victories at home and in other countries. Professional sports did not prevent Lundgren from receiving an excellent education. Nature endowed him with outstanding mental abilities, and karate taught him to move toward his intended goal purposefully. After graduating high school, Dolph spent considerable time studying in the United States and abroad on various academic scholarships. He attended Washington State University and Clemson University in South Carolina, where he studied chemistry on various scholarships. He graduated from the Royal Institute of Technology in Stockholm, completing his master's degree in chemical engineering on an exchange program with the University of Sydney in Australia. Graduating at the head of his class, Dolph was awarded a Fulbright scholarship to the prestigious Massachusetts Institute of Technology in Boston, one of the world's top engineering schools, in 1983. Now, let us explore his career. Dolph decided to move to New York City and took up modeling to make some extra cash. Grace Jones spotted him in the nightclub where he worked in Sydney and hired him as her bodyguard. Later, the two of them became lovers. Are you curious to know more about their love story? Don't stop watching, and you'll know the details soon. A bit too muscular for a model's size 40, Dolph was to begin at MIT a few months later. But friends told him he should be in movies. "Hey man, you look like you should be in the movies," they said. This is where it all began. He started studying drama at the Warren Robertson Theater Workshop in Manhattan. Not knowing how quickly his life would change, he said, "My time in New York City opened my adolescent Swedish eyes to many different people and lifestyles, mostly in the arts. I hung out with Andy Warhol, Keith Haring, Iman, and Steve Rubel, danced at Studio 54, and studied acting with Andy McDowell and Tom Hulce." He quit studying at MIT after 2 weeks to pursue acting. Lundgren said after being exposed to the entertainment business, he found it more attractive and rewarding than chemical engineering. So he decided to pursue a career in acting. Can you imagine that? His debut was in the James Bond feature A View to a Kill in 1985. However, his memorable performance in Rocky IV later that year got him noticed worldwide. After a 9-month audition process among 5,000 hopefuls, he was cast by writer-director Sylvester Stallone as his fearsome Russian opponent, Captain Ivan Drago. Following the success of Rocky IV, Dolph moved to Los Angeles after working very hard and building quite a career as an international action hero. He has since starred in more than 50 feature films. Lundgren portrayed the classic action heroic lead in such films as Gary Goddard's Masters of the Universe in 1987, Showdown in Little Tokyo in 1991, co-starring Brandon Lee, and Blackjack in 1998, by Hong Kong action legend John Woo. Lundgren has also continued to turn in memorable performances as the main adversary to other action stars, most notably in Universal Soldier in 1992 opposite Jean-Claude Van Damme, directed by Roland Emmerich, as well as Robert Longo's Johnny Mnemonic in 1995 opposite Keanu Reeves. In February 2004, Lundgren directed his first feature film, the thriller The Defender, in which he also starred. He directed and starred in another feature, The Mechanic, in 2005. In January of the following year, he finished principal photography of The Final Inquiry, a joint Italian, American, and Spanish co-production directed by Giulio Bass, appearing opposite Daniele Liotti, Max von Sydow, and F. Murray Abraham. Lundgren starred in Diamond Dogs in 2007, a Chinese-American co-production filmed on location in Mongolia. The same year, he directed a modern-day Western shot in Texas, Missionary Man. He completed 2 new directorial efforts, the action-packed Command Performance 2009, which showcases Lundgren's longtime musical talents as a drummer, and the neo-noir thriller Icarus the following year. Dolph received a call from his old friend Sly Stallone in 2009. "Yo, Dolph, I got this script," Stallone said during the call. Dolph ended up co-starring opposite Stallone, Bruce Willis, and Arnold Schwarzenegger in the box office hit The Expendables, and for Universal Soldier, Regeneration. It was terrific working with Sly again, and he had created a very colorful character for me in the picture. It also felt great to be back on the big screen again, Lundgren said. Soon, The Expendables 2 followed, and Dolph reprised his role as comedic action man Gunnar Jensen in The Expendables 3. This time, it featured an even bigger star-studded cast, adding Mel Gibson, Wesley Snipes, Antonio Banderas, and Harrison Ford to the worldwide action franchise. Throughout the ups and downs of Hollywood, Dolph has always stayed close to the martial arts. He did not let his Hollywood career hinder his athletic background. Karate and physical fitness have kept me reasonably sane in a very tough and often spiritually empty business. After completing a grueling examination, the World Karate Organization in Tokyo awarded Dolph his 3rd-degree black belt. His other athletic accomplishments include being the Swedish national karate team captain and the individual champion of the Swedish, European, and Australian heavyweight full-contact division titles. Lundgren still regularly performs karate exhibitions at international tournaments worldwide. In addition to his karate expertise, Dolph was selected by the United States Olympic Committee to serve as the team leader of the United States Olympic pentathlon team during the 1996 Atlanta Games. As seen earlier, Dolph Lundgren has had quite an interesting dating history, from the early days of his career to his present life with his loving spouse, Emma Krokdahl. Before finding love with his current wife, Lundgren was involved in several high-profile relationships. Notable among Dolph Lundgren's ex-girlfriends is the legendary singer Grace Jones, with whom he shared a passionate romance in the mid-1980s. How did this relationship unfold? Before we get to that, let's find out who this legendary singer is. Grace Beverly Jones is a celebrated Jamaican-American singer, songwriter, supermodel, record producer, and actress born on the 19th of May, 1948, in Spanish Town, Jamaica. Her early life and background have significantly shaped her career as a singer, songwriter, model, and actress. She is of Jamaican descent, which plays a crucial role in her cultural identity and artistic expression. Her upbringing in Jamaica, where Christianity is prevalent, might suggest an influence from that background, though she has not publicly aligned herself with any particular religion in her adult life. Grace Jones's parents, Robert W. Jones and Marjorie Jones, moved to the United States for work, initially leaving Grace and her siblings, Noel Jones and Chris Jones, in Jamaica to be raised by their grandparents. This separation and the subsequent reunion in the United States when she was 13 shaped her early life experiences. Grace has a brother, Noel Jones, a bishop, indicating a family with strong religious ties. Jones's education took her to Syracuse, New York, where her family had relocated. She attended Onondaga Community College, but left to pursue her career in modeling and performing arts. Her educational path was more about life experiences and self-learning, especially in the arts. Grace Jones's career is a vibrant tapestry of music, modeling, acting, and performance art. Her distinctive style, groundbreaking creativity, and formidable presence distinguish it. She first emerged as a fashion icon in the 1970s, and her sharp features and androgynous appearance made her stand out in the modeling world. Her career began with modeling, where she quickly became an icon. She appeared on the covers of Vogue, Elle, and other prestigious magazines, and quickly became one of the most recognizable faces of her time. Her collaborations with photographers such as Jean-Paul Goude, who later became her partner, played a crucial role in shaping her early career. Standing at around 5.9 inches, Jones's height has contributed to her striking and commanding presence on stage and in fashion. She transitioned from modeling to music, embarking on a genre-defying journey. Her music career took off with the release of her debut album, Portfolio, in 1977. This laid the foundation for her eclectic sound, blending disco, reggae, and avant-garde influences, followed by a string of successful albums, including Warm Leatherette Nightclubbing and Slave to the Rhythm. These showcased her ability to fuse new wave, post-punk, and dance music. Jones often performed in bold costumes or minimal attire, challenging conventions of gender and performance art. Her shows blended theatricality and performance art, making each appearance a spectacle. Her influence extends beyond music into fashion, film, and pop culture, making her a true iconoclast. She has appeared in films like Conan the Destroyer and A View to a Kill, further confirming her status as a multifaceted artist. Jones also made a mark in film, bringing her magnetic persona to the screen in roles like Zula in Conan the Destroyer, the villainous Mayday in the James Bond film A View to a Kill, and the enigmatic lead in Vamp, embodying her image as a femme fatale. Jones continues to create and perform, remaining relevant with albums like Hurricane and Corona. She also engages in visual art through exhibitions and collaborations that reflect her iconic image and dynamic career. Grace Jones, the legendary Jamaican-American singer, actress, and model, has an estimated $7 million net worth. This wealth is a testament to her versatile career across music, film, and fashion, where she has continually pushed boundaries and made a lasting impact on pop culture. Her only known marriage was to Attila Altonbay, a Turkish man she met in Belgium. Beyond her marriage, Jones has had several high-profile relationships throughout her life. She had a brief romance with Sven Ole Thorsen, a former bodyguard from the action film world, and a rumored brief fling with Swedish musician Niels Backstrom. She had encounters with Quentin Tarantino and Janice Dickinson in 2014. It was also rumored that she had briefly connected with Chris Makepeace in 1985. She has one son, Paolo Goude, from her relationship with French graphic designer Jean-Paul Goude. Jean-Paul Goude was also her creative partner during some of the most defining moments of her career. Their romantic and deeply creative relationship shaped her visual and musical style in the late 70s and 80s. Grace Jones also dated Dolph Lundgren. Their relationship was brief but intense. Jones often acknowledged Lundgren's support during a challenging time in her life. If they both have positive things to say about each other, what caused their separation? Keep watching to find out. Grace Jones and Dolph Lundgren were an amazing couple. Fans worldwide greatly loved and admired them. Dolph, a handsome Swede, an athlete, and an intellectual, achieved great success in sports. However, he became world famous precisely thanks to the woman who gave him a job and became a close friend. Grace and Dolph's relationship, which seemed incredibly strong, lasted for several years, but ended not in marriage. They eventually separated. What caused this separation? Didn't the duo want to spend their lives together? After finishing his studies in Sydney, Lundgren planned to go to the United States of America. He became a fellow at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology. Boston and a brilliant scientific career lay ahead of him, but everything didn't go as the purposeful Swede planned. His short-lived romantic relationship with Grace started during the early 1980s, when Grace Jones was on the up and up with her career. After transitioning her music career into new wave, she was on tour in Sydney promoting her Warm Leatherette album. While working as a bouncer and in the security industry, Dolph's path crossed with Grace's. While in the United Kingdom, Dolph described the experience to the Daily Mail, saying, "I met her, Grace Jones, at the Capitol Theatre where she was performing, and I was doing security with a couple of friends of mine. I got put on her detail as she went around the nightclubs in Sydney, and I guess she took a liking to me. 4 years later, we were still together." The dark-skinned American singer, actress, and model, during her concerts in Australia, noticed a handsome blonde man in a bar. The star, impressed by his physique, offered Dolph a job as a bodyguard. The business relationship quickly grew into love, and Dolph went to the United States of America with Jones to live with her in New York. This transition was pivotal for his career. He started taking acting classes at the Warren Robertson Theater Workshop. The combination of his looks, drive, and relationship allowed him to be noticed. When Grace Jones was offered a role in one of the Bond films, A View to a Kill, where she starred as a villain, she agreed on the condition that her boyfriend would get a small role in it. At this moment, Lundgren, on the advice of a friend, changed his name to a more sonorous one, Dolph. Surprisingly, a tiny role in this famous film changed Lundgren's life. He realized that he wanted to act in films. His relationship with Grace impacted his career, as she encouraged him to pursue acting more seriously. When he came to audition for the film Rocky IV, Stallone's wife, Brigitte Nielsen, refused him simply because of his height. However, Grace Jones came to the rescue. She sent her beloved to a photo shoot, where he starred in the most combative poses. The woman personally gave the photographs to Sylvester Stallone. He agreed to take Dolph for the role of Ivan Drago, but set a condition. Lundgren had to build muscle before filming. The motivation was strong, as Stallone promised that Rocky IV would make the aspiring actor famous. Lundgren trained all day long and achieved the required muscle volume in a short time. Preparing for filming was not easy, but fortunately, his breakthrough came when he landed the role of Ivan Drago in Rocky IV, which took him to stardom. Extravagant Grace Jones could bring several girlfriends into the bedroom in the evening, and the company would have fun all night. In the morning, Dolph, who did not sleep enough, went to Stallone's ring to rehearse. Grace, who was 9 years older than her lover, loved to live brightly and do crazy things. She claimed that life without scandals and adventures was boring for her. The woman opened up a world to Lundgren that he knew nothing about. The couple became part of the vibrant club scene, attending events and parties together and interacting with celebrity icons like Andy Warhol, David Bowie, and Michael Jackson. They also traveled a lot. Lundgren described this period as exhilarating yet exhausting, particularly due to Jones's love for wild parties and group encounters, which he found overwhelming at times. He stated that he sometimes struggled to keep up with her energetic lifestyle. Despite their glamorous lifestyle, the relationship was not without its challenges. Reports suggest that it was marked by physical and domestic violence and abuse. Lundgren has mentioned that Jones exhibited controlling behavior at times, including instances of jealousy and aggression. He described moments when she would cut up his clothes or confront him with a gun during heated arguments. This must have been exhausting. Was this the cause of their breakup? We'll soon find out. Before the premiere of Rocky IV, no one paid attention to Lundgren. Everyone devoured his star companion with their eyes. However, after the session, everyone forgot about her, and Dolph became the center of attention. The role of Ivan Drago, as Stallone promised, made him a real star. Yes, the film changed Lundgren's life, including the reason for the start of the split with Jones. Lundgren's transformation from an aspiring actor to an action star was rapid and dramatic, with his newfound fame often overshadowing his previous life as a student and bouncer. The fee received for the role of Ivan Drago allowed Lundgren to gain financial independence. He moved to Los Angeles and rented an apartment there. Grace did not like this city and chose to stay in New York. At his new location, Lundgren hired an agent. However, the agent immediately set a condition for the rising star: no contact with Grace Jones. Her scandalous reputation could harm the actor. Jones behaved, as usual, unpredictably. She, deciding that her beloved was being held in Los Angeles by force, went to save him. She took a loaded pistol with her. She later claimed that she took the weapon to feel more confident and did not intend to shoot. She knocked down the door of Dolph's apartment, caused a scandal, and injured him. He did not proceed with the matter and report it to the police. Unfortunately, there was no longer any question of continuing the relationship. Lundgren and Jones eventually parted ways, and their relationship remains a notable part of their lives. There were many photographs of Lundgren and John together. The pictures show how they were young, beautiful, and probably happy. Despite everything, Lundgren has reflected on this period with nostalgia and acknowledges its difficulties. He has expressed gratitude for how their paths intertwined during such a formative time. The actor says that he has only pleasant memories of his former lover. He remembers and is grateful for what she did for him and his career. What do you think about Grace Jones and Dolph Lundgren's tumultuous love story? Was that unfortunate incident enough reason for their separation? Feel free to leave your thoughts in the comment section. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to this channel. Before you go, click the links on your screen for more videos.